Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we got our Virus Metal Greymon mat and this green Digivice. Because we're going to be looking at the green deck I built. And I don't have any suitable green Digimon to use. Like, Black War Greymon I could use for the red deck. If I wanted to, I could go with Metal Garurumon for the blue deck, but I don't have any counterparts to a green deck. Even if I had a Cherubimon, I would consider that a yellow counter, not so much a green counter. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling. Let's start out with, as always, the memory. And I'm going with this one, which is either from the 1.0 or the 1.5. It is the thin paper one. But, I mean, it works for what it needs to be. There are no rules cards because I haven't gotten around to putting those into this deck. Or the black or the purple. I want to wait just to see if better ones come out, because the ones that they have, it's kind of boring. And again, these ones are for fun. I'm rambling again. Let's get going. Starting with the Digi-Eggs, we have two Argomons, who has the ability, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your unsuspend phase, gain one memory. Which is a good one to help boost you some memory. Like, if your opponent's trying to mess with your memory, getting that extra bit might be very helpful. Then we got 3 copies of Betamon, who has the effect, when attacking once per turn, if you attack an opponent's Digimon, trigger, draw 1 card. So that's a good way to get yourself some more cards in your hand. Especially because it doesn't have that discard. Next we go on to the rookies. And we're starting out with these 2 Tentomons, who is a 3 play cost, a 0 Digivolution cost, 2000 DP. And when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less as their inherited effect. No active effect. So that's an alright effect for an alright power. Usually I don't use these for attacking. It's for their abilities. Next up, we've got 2 copies of this Agumon, who is a 3 play cost, a 0 Digivolution cost, 1000 DP. No active effect, but the inherited effect of your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. So that's a good ability. Like, it could help push your ultimates or megas over that bar to be able to beat over anything. So that's why I put him in the deck. And I only had 2 because, again, it's only a 1000. Next up, we got 2 copies of this Terriermon, who's a 3 play cost, a 0 Digivolution cost, 2000 DP. And it has the effect, all turns, your opponent can't get memory except from tamer effects, and no inheritable effect. I put 2 copies of this. Like, this is one of those where I believe they made one for every single color. And they appeared in the side deck of my Diaboromon, I believe, as, I can't remember, Chumon? Was it? Maybe. I can't remember. But every color has one of these, and I would definitely put them inside deck, if not the main deck. The only reason why they didn't make it in the main deck of the Diaboromon deck is because that's a Chaosmon Diaboromon deck. They're not Chaosmon or Diaboromon. And I liked the reboot of the Lego Agumon, or Toy Agumon, better. So the great thing about this one is that they can't gain it except from tamer effects. And right now, tamers are all about hybrid. So if they've got a memory boost or any other option card that gives them memory, can't get it. If they have a Digimon that gives them memory, they can't get it. So that's a kind of like pigeonholing their memory. And if they're not prepared to deal with this, if they don't have a way to attack an unsuspended Digimon, you can just play this down, keep it out for the 3 memory, and it will make up for it in no time. So I thought 2 copies of him was very useful. Next up, a recent addition to the deck is 2 copies of this Betamon. And this was originally the spot of a Wormmon. I swapped it out because this guy's a 3 play cost, a 0 digital cost, 2000 DP. So all those numbers are exactly the same as the Wormmon, except he's 1000 bigger. And he's got the on-play effect of reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 green level 4 Digimon card or 1 green Tamer card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. The Wormmon did something very similar, where you got to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you got to choose a level, I think it was 4 or 5, with the difference being that his wasn't on play, his was on deletion. And to me, that's kind of using resources poorly, because whereas this guy, you just have to play him down without digivolving, and then you get his effect immediately. The Wormmon, you have to play him down, like either digivolve on an egg or play him down on the placemat, wait a full turn cycle, and then attack into something that's going to delete him, because that Wormmon doesn't have blocker or anything, so your opponent's not going to actively attack it. There's no reason for that. So they wouldn't be silly enough to attack into it, which means you have to ram it into something. And to me, that's paying 3 memory to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and maybe pull something. Next up, we got these vanilla Lilomon. They are 2 play costs, a 2 Digivolution cost, 5000 DP, straight up vanillas. They're in the deck because of that 2 play cost. The 2 Digivolution cost is also nice as well. So in case we are in that situation that I've talked about a lot, where you're at 1 memory and you just want to give them 1 memory, you can play this down and that'll chokehold their memory. So that's why they're in there. Next up, the last of the rookies are these 2 Tentamon from the EX set. And they are 3 play costs, a 0 Digivolution cost, 2000 DP. And they have no active effect, but they have the inherited effect of when attacking, the next time one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon card with Insectoid or Ancient Insect in its traits this turn, reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 1. So that could be great. It also says, like, when a Digimon. So it doesn't have to be this one. It could be any of them on the field. So that's a great kind of effect. Now we're on to the champions, and starting off with a real powerhouse, in my opinion, is this Ogremon all the way back from the first set. He is a 4 play cost, a 2 Digivolution cost, only has 4000 DP, but he's got that important jamming that I love so much, and he has no inherited effect. And I'll tell you, I played a game where I digivolved into an Ogremon, and then I swung into their security stack and took out some big beefy guy, and this guy was still on the field because he couldn't be deleted by it. And that meant that the following turn, the opponent had to attack into it, or else risk me just doing it again. And so I really love jamming. I think it's a great protection while also being very aggressive. And speaking about protection, we've got 2 copies of this Woodmon here. He is a 5 play cost, a 2 Digivolution cost, 6000 DP. He's got the blocker ability, and when attacking, you lose 2 memory. So again, the old blocker, where they could actually block as opposed to the new ones, which say this one can't attack. I like the ability to attack with him. Like, I won't do it very often, but just to have that option is important. Especially in a green deck where you could unsuspend him some point during the turn, perhaps. Again, blockers are great. It's why I put them in the deck. Next up, we got 2 copies of this Quagmon, which is a 4 play cost, a 2 Digivolution cost, 4000 DP, and on play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and no inherited effect. And this is great because just suspending an opponent's Digimon and then being able to attack into it could be super important. So I definitely enjoy him being in the deck. Like if you've got your Mega out and you play this guy down, then you can suspend their Mega and then run over it. And then we got 2 copies of this Kabuterimon, who's a 6 play cost, a 1 Digivolution cost, 5,000 DP, and no active effect, but the inherited effect of your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP for every suspended Digimon your opponent has. So this one again can work with the Quagmon and gain some extra attack points, which is great. Again, at later levels. And then last of our champions are these Quagmons. Have I gone through 2 Quagmons? I must have. I just had like a moment where I just completely forgot what we were doing. But yes, we do have 2 different Quagmons going in this deck. And this one's from the EX set. And he's a 5 play cost, a 2 Digivolution cost, 5,000 DP. The active effect of start of your turn, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 DP or less. That's not great, but yeah. And then the inherited effect of when this Digimon deletes one of your opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, one of your opponent's suspended Digimon doesn't unsuspend during their next unsuspend phase. And that is great to kind of keep a Digimon frozen. Again, you could play the other Quagmon, suspend one of their Digimon, use attack with this one, and delete either that Digimon or a different one, and then keep that one suspended, which is a good combo. One that I definitely enjoy. Now we're on to the Ultimates. I'm having trouble thinking right now. Starting with 1 copy of this Metal Tyrannomon. He's a 7 play cost, a 2 Digivolution cost, 6,000 DP. No active effect, but the inherited effect of when this Digimon deletes one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon in battle, unsuspend this Digimon. So that's allowing a big beefy body to not just take out something big, but then attack again into possibly something other big. And it's not once per turn. So if it's an entire Diaboromon deck, that means that you could attack, kill a Diaboromon, unsuspend, attack, kill a Diaboromon, unsuspend, attack, kill a Diaboromon, unsuspend, and just keep steamrolling over their entire board. And there's not really anything they could do about that. And then once you've got it all clear, go straight for the security. Then we've got 1 copy of this Argomon, who's an 8 play cost, a 3 Digivolution cost, 6,000 DP, has a Digistortion -3 ability, which is when one of your Digimon digivolves into this card from your hand, you may suspend one of your Digimon to reduce the memory cost of this Digivolution by 3. So that means that it would go from 3 to 0. And suspending isn't terrible for green because they've got option cards that allow them to unsuspend. And then he has the inherited effect of when attacking, you may play 1 level 3 green Digimon card from your hand suspended without paying its memory cost. So that allows you to get some more in. Not amazing, but for that free kind of level 5 is kind of why I put him in the deck. And then we've got 2 copies of this Dino Beamon, who's an 8 play cost, a 3 Digivolution cost from green or blue. We have no blue, so we don't care about that. 7,000 DP. And then he's got piercing and jamming. So this one I really do like. He has no inherited effect. But the idea that he could attack into an opponent's Digimon, destroy it, and then destroy a security card and not have to worry about being deleted by the security is just perfect. Because 7,000 isn't a big body, but with jamming, you don't have to worry about that. Same reason why I like the Ogremon. And then next up, we have our last ultimate, which is 3 copies of this Rapidmon. And he is a 6 play cost, a 2 Digivolution cost, 6,000 DP. No active effect, but he has the inherited effect of your turn. This card gets plus 1000 DP for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. So again, giving you some extra oomph for your attack, which is great. Now we're into the Megas. Starting off with this Grand Quagmon, which is a 13 play cost, a 4 Digivolution cost, 11,000 DP. It has piercing, and your turn this Digimon gets plus 4,000 DP. So even though it's an 11,000 on your opponent's, it becomes a 15 on yours. So he could take out a lot of crazy things, which I definitely do like. And then we've got this Puppetmon, who is an 11 play cost, a 3 Digivolution cost, 10,000 DP. On play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. During your opponent's next unsuspend phase, none of your opponent's Digimon can unsuspend. When attacking, gain 1 memory. I like this guy because your opponent could be almost tapped out on Digimon. And even though you're going to give him a good chunk from the 11 play cost, like even if you're at, let's say 5, you're going to give him 6 memory to play it. Being able to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then none of them get to unsuspend. So you could like use this as like a coup de grace. Like you could attack with all your Digimon that you were planning on attacking with that turn, delete a couple of his maybe, and then play this and suspend another one, and then attack into all of them again after your guys unsuspend. It's just a good card to put in the deck, in my opinion. And then we have 2 copies of this Hercules Kabuterimon. He is a 12 play cost, a 4 Digivolution cost, 12,000 DP. And he has the effect of your turn once per turn, when one of your Digimon with Insectoid or Ancient Insect in its traits deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, you may unsuspend this Digimon. And your turn, for each Digimon card with Insectoid in its traits, Digimon's Digivolution cards, it gets plus 1000 DP. So even though it starts with 12, it could get up quite a bit from those other cards. And that is very important. And normally we go right into the Tamers, but we actually have 2 level 7s. And those are Chaosmon, 2 different ones. So the first one is a 15 play cost, Digivolves from green or black for 6. We don't have any black, so we're only worrying about the green. 14,000 DP. It has the piercing effect, which I love. And then when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. Then it can attack your opponent's Digimon. This effect allows you to attack unsuspended Digimon. So with that 1400 body, like it can attack into unsuspended Digimon. That is great. It is a very good ability, in my opinion. And then the other one we got is the super rare one, who's a 15 play cost. Digivolves from green or yellow for 6. We don't have yellow, so we're not going to worry about that. 14,000 DP. When Digivolving, activate the following effect twice. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP for the turn, and on deletion, gain 3 memory. So that on deletion effect, really nice, because your opponent would want to get rid of this, but they're going to lose 3 memory. So that could be a very advantageous point for you. And the first effect of 2 of your opponent's Digimon, or 2 times you get to do the minus 7,000, you can do it on 2 different ones, or you can do it on 1. So if your opponent had a big 1600 body, or even like going with the red deck where I think you could get one to like 20 something in the best case scenario with the Metal Greymon Altura set, something like that. Even with that, you could use it twice on that one and go from like 25 down to 11, and then anything to beat over it. You could also bring something that's 14 down to 0, and it would immediately get deleted. Or you could bring 2 different ones down from 14s to 7s, and then just run over them with 2 different Digimon. So this one is definitely a very good one I was thinking about swapping the other Chaosmon into another one of these. I definitely think about putting it in the side deck, if I had made one for this. Next up, we're on to Tamers, and there's only one Tamer with 2 copies, and that's this Mimi, and she has 4 play cost. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set your memory to 3, and then main, if you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you can suspend this Tamer to hatch 1 Digi-Egg to an empty space in your breeding area, or move 1 level 3 or higher Digimon from your breeding area to your battle. So this allows you to kind of go a little bit faster in the game. Being able to, during your breeding phase, move the Digimon up, and then in that same turn, suspend Mimi to hatch another one. And then you could play a Digimon on it to draw cards. It allows you to go a little bit faster, and I do enjoy that. And so now we're going on to the option cards. Starting off, and I may change this a bit, we have 4 copies of Hidden Potential Discovered, and it's been a while since I've played this deck, so this might be a little bit flooding. I may go down to 3. But this one has the effect of 0 cost. Main, the next time one of your green Digimon Digivolves this turn, you may suspend one of your Digimon to reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 5. So that's great, especially when you combo it with our Chaosmon, which has the ability of unsuspend this Digimon. So you could have the level 6 get suspended to reduce this one from 6 points to 1 point, and then play it on, and it gets unsuspended. So that's a pretty nice combo there. Otherwise, you could use the Betamons that we just played out to help search our deck, get them suspended, and then reduce a different play cost by 5. Next up, we have 1 copy of Giga Blaster, which is a 3 play cost. Main, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, or 2 of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. So straight up, you can suspend any one of their Digimon. Or suspend 2 of them with 5,000 DP or less. Also, security effect, activate this card's main effect, which I believe... add this card to your hand for Hidden Potential. And Mimi's, I believe, was just play the card to the field. Yes. Gotta watch out for that. Missed that. My bad. But yeah, this is great. Just being able to, again, suspend one of their big guys. Then you play Puppetmon or something like that, and they don't unsuspend. The board control that this allows is great. If you got a Digimon with Reboot where it unsuspends during your unsuspend phase, and then you play this for 3 to suspend it and then beat over it, definitely a worthwhile card. And then we've got 1 copy of Dimension Scissors, which is a 3 play cost. Main, one of your Digimon gains the following effect for the turn. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, unsuspend it. So this is just the Metal Tyrannomon's ability, but better, because it's any. So you can just keep running into suspended Digimons and unsuspend them, unsuspend it, and wipe out a big chunk of their board. So this is another great one with the security effect of add this card to its owner's hand. Gotta remember to say that. Next up, we have 2 copies of Puppet Pummel. It is a 3 play cost. Main ability, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then one of your Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP for the turn, and no security effect. And I believe that's because this is a very strong effect. Just again, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of yours gains 2,000 DP. Powers you up. Makes them an easier target. Great card. If I made a side deck, I would definitely put more in there. Then we've got 2 copies of the Green Memory Boost, which is a 3 play cost. Main effect, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 green Digimon card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order, then place this card in your battle area. Main delay. Trash this card in your battle area to activate the effect below. You can't activate this effect during the turn this card enters play. Gain 2 memory. Great search. I love the memory boosts because they allow you to do a little bit more and help you mitigate the randomness. Then we've got 2 copies of Cyclone Kick, which is a 4 play cost main. I forgot to do it again, didn't I? Security effect, place this card in its owner's battle area. Alright, Cyclone Kick. 4 cost, main, unsuspend one of your Digimon and suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Security effect, activate this card's main effect. If you play this on your turn, you get to unsuspend a Digimon and suspend one of theirs, which again, we can use to go into some combos and continue some attacks. If this is during the opponent's turn, then you've just taken out one of their targets by unsuspending yours and taken out one of their attackers by suspending theirs. So, very good, in my opinion. And then the last card of the deck is Terror's Cluster. It's a 7 play cost. Main, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of their deck. Trash all the Digivolution cards of that Digimon. And security effect, activate this card's main effect. So this is great, again, because playing with the other cards, you can suspend one of their Digimon and then pay 7 to just put it at the bottom of their deck. It's not as good as straight up putting in the trash, or in some ways, maybe it's better. If they have a way to search the trash and bring it back, this could be better than putting it in the trash because now it's at the bottom of their deck. And as far as I've seen in this game so far, there's no shuffle your deck mechanics. So that would be the bottom card of their deck. So if it was their big playmaker, it's gone. So what are the kind of strategies that I built with this deck? Well, first off, he's going a pretty big bug route, and then going into the Chaos Valdarm. So he's like, when attacking, the next one of your Digimon can Digivolve into a card with Insectoid by reducing its cost. So in this line, it wouldn't happen until Metal Tyrannomon. But he's got 6,000. You play Puppet Pummel to suspend, pump him up a bit. Maybe he could attack over. Otherwise, you can use Cyclone Kick, where like now he's deleted an opponent's Digimon. And so you unsuspend him. You then Digivolve him into Hercules Kabuterimon, where he gets a nice attack boost. And then he can just keep running over some bigger guys. When this Digimon deletes one of your opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, one of your opponent's Digimon's suspended Digimon doesn't unsuspend. So that would help keep them suspended. When this Digimon deletes one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon in battle, unsuspend this Digimon. So that would allow you to continue plays. And then with Hercules Kabuterimon, your turn once per turn, when one of your Digimon with Insectoid or Ancient Insect in its traits deletes an opponent's Digimon battle and survives, you may unsuspend this Digimon. So he's no longer having to unsuspend from only level 6s, but from anything he attacks, pretty much. And then for each card with Insectoid, which this one has 2, so that would give him plus 1,000 to 14. And then on to Valdarm, where he just kind of becomes bigger and stays 14. But he gets those extra effects. The other one that I was looking at would be to start off with the Agumon, giving him 1,000. Kabuterimon, he gets an 1,000 for every suspended. Rapidmon, your turn, this card gets 1,000 for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. So that doubles. And then Grand Quagmon, Piercing. And this Digimon gets plus 4,000. So he would get, even if they only have 1, you're talking about 15, 16, 17 at that point. Or then he goes into Chaosmon, and then he gets to unsuspend. And then he can attack your opponent's Digimon, even if they're suspended. And he goes from a 14 to a 16 with just one of theirs suspended. So yeah, it's not as clean as some of the other decks that I've built. Because I haven't really felt one that I like to build green around. Maybe when the new sets come out and the green dash / blue, like Paildramon and Imperial Dramon come out, that could do something, and I would have to change this deck quite a bit because it's really kind of insect centered at the moment, with a bunch of the Kabuterimons and Quagmons. So with that, we've reached the end of this video, but we're not quite done. I went to a store just to kind of browse around a bit, and they had 3 packs of the next adventure. And I needed 3 packs to use for this part. So we're going to unpack one of them, and then another one for the black, and one more for the purple. So let's get this open and see what we can get. Like, literally, I went in, and they only had 3 packs. And I couldn't pass that up. That just seems kind of like destiny to me. To where it's like, oh yeah, no. They only had 3. You like to do card openings at the end of non-card opening videos. So this is perfect. So I felt I absolutely was required to pick these 3 up. Let's see if we paid off. Starting off with Gigastorm. I'm not going to go over their ability because we went over that a lot. We got Windigomon, Korikakumon, Tortamon. We'll go over the super rares, and the real shiny ones we'll do. Boutmon, Tuskmon, Schwartz Lahasarat, Ancient Volcanomon, Zephyrmon, Flame Drake Strike, Koji, who's a 3-play cost. Security, play this card without paying its memory cost. Main, once per turn. You may place 5 cards with hybrid in their traits from your hand under this tamer in any order to digivolve it into Magna Garurumon in your hand for its digivolution cost, as if this tamer is a level 5 blue Digimon. And then the inherited effect of your turn once per turn. When an effect adds a card to your hand, gain 1 memory, then this Digimon can't be blocked for the turn. This is a nice blue one, so that's good. And we got Metal Cannon. 2 play cost. Main, choose one of your Digimon with X antibody in its traits, then draw 1 for each Digimon, for each of that Digimon's Digivolution cards. And security effect, add this card to its owner's hand. This could be good later on. It's kind of meh now because there's not enough X antibodies, I think, in the game to constitute it. But there you go. We did a look at the green deck, and then we did a pack opening. If you have any comments about what I could change or make better about this deck, put it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It really does help. And until then, I will see you next time.